Hey everyone, and welcome back to Kaylin Bowman. So in today's video, I want to talk about why it is that the harder you try, the worse it gets. And specifically, you guys know I talk a lot about manifestation on this channel, so mainly in regards to manifestation, but this can really apply to many different areas of life. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I had someone specifically reach out and kind of explain their situation and say, I have been doing A, B, and C in regards to creating this thing in my life, but I don't understand why I'm not seeing the results. Like I have a friend who does the same thing. They're doing the same A, B, and C, but they're getting results. Why am I not getting results? And I think there's a lot of confusion around this because there is a difference between trying to make something happen versus allowing something to happen. And the action may look the same for two different people, but the difference is the state of consciousness and the vibration that they're in. One of the key components that I learned about manifestation and law of attraction is that before anything, you really want to address what is your state of consciousness. And unfortunately, the majority of the world is in a lack-based state of consciousness, meaning that I am not yet enough. World somehow fill me up, right? So energetically, that's what we're saying. We're not actually verbally saying that, but on an energetic level, that's what we're saying. And you'll see this a lot in relationships. So if you have someone who is trying really hard to maybe be your friend, you can feel that underlying that is this lack of connection to self, right? And so what happens is the person on the receiving end starts to kind of feel like they want to pull away. They feel like, what's going on? Why is this person trying so hard? There must be something off, or there must be something kind of wrong. And it's similar to the idea of manifestation, right? Because if we are trying really hard to make something happen, the universe is kind of going, why is this person trying so hard? They must not be in alignment with this yet. Because the times that we take action towards things and actually yield those positive results are when we are in perfect harmony with it. And sometimes we're not aware of this. So that's why there are times where we take action and it just flows perfectly, right? And other times we try and we try and we try and we force and we push and we control and we manipulate and we do all these things and still absolutely no results, right? And you think, well, I'm putting all of this, focus, right? Because that's what a lot of us talk about I talk about this on this channel. I say anything that you put focus on, yes, you are starting to draw into your experience. However, the issue with that is, again, where is your state of consciousness though? Because if your state of consciousness is believing and kind of in that state of, yeah, but I don't really believe that I deserve this, or I'm not worthy of this, or I'm not in alignment with this, then essentially any action that you take or any force that you put towards that is going to make it worse. And this is what happens with, trying too hard. Going back to the main concept of the more you try, the worse it gets, you really got to think about what is behind trying so hard. Like, think about anything in your life that you tried really hard at. Always that's coming from this feeling that you don't already have it. And the key to manifestation is to come into that place of wholeness and feel in alignment, because anything that feels natural to us, we're going to magnetize in very easily. And so one of the ways to start drawing in experiences with ease is to make it a natural process. Find a way to make it feel natural. And so what I always like to do is kind of go to things that are more easy, right? So like I'll look at my own life and think to myself, what are things that I can easily manifest? What are things that I don't even question, right? And then you want to sort of look at what you're doing energetically. And most likely you're not trying very hard, but also it's because you have an underlying belief that's supporting that. And I think sometimes people get frustrated because, for instance, I'm making this video today, I'm telling you not to try hard, but there's probably a resistance to that because you're going to go, well, if I don't try hard, then nothing's going to happen. So my suggestion to you is put the action on the back burner for now and focus on your state of being only. So really start to identify how you're feeling at a core level, just really about yourself. And when you can start to tap into the feeling of wholeness, of completion, of abundance, of worthiness, most importantly, one of the fastest ways to manifest what it is that we want is to shift our overall self-image and self-concept. And once we begin to see ourselves more connected to source energy, more plugged in, then everything else feels effortless in a sense. Because if I'm walking around with this core belief that I am really, truly worthy of what it is that I want, then when I start to command to the universe, this is what I desire, there's not going to be that discrepancy of like, okay, this is what you desire, but you don't feel good enough for it, so we can't really deliver it to you. And it's that gap where people then start trying really hard because, you know, we want things, we have desires in life, we have goals, we have visions, and it can be really disheartening when we've put all of this effort in and we're not seeing those results. And that's why I always say, you know, go back to self. This is so key and so fundamental. So if this video is resonating with you today, I recommend really focusing on your state of consciousness. So where do you reside primarily? Do you feel full? Do you feel whole? Do you feel connected to the divine? Or are you in victim mode? Are you in lack-based consciousness? Are you feeling a need for something versus just a subtle want? And that is one of the biggest keys, right? That's one of the biggest indicators when I talk to clients about their manifestation processes. And when I hear them say, I've been doing A, B, and C, yet I don't see results, I ask, where are you energetically with this thing, right? So like, be honest with me. Do you want this thing or do you feel like you need this thing? And I recognize the difference by how we're viewing it, because oftentimes we don't realize it, but we think we want something, but in fact we actually need it because our sense of self or our sense of identity is dependent on that outcome. And that's when we're forcing and trying, and that's when things don't work. So when you fill yourself up, you know you deserve it, you know you're worthy of it, then all of that just falls into place naturally, and the action just comes from an inspired place versus from a forced place. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are looking to further expand on your knowledge, I recommend at Ignite Your Soul Self Mastery School the Take Your Power Back Masterclass. It's really going to build on what I've been talking about in today's video, and it's such a fundamental masterclass. Like this kind of stuff is so life-changing. When you start to understand where you are in relation to the things that you want, and you get to recognize, you know, the times where you're repelling something versus the times where things are coming in, and maybe you don't, again, have to try so hard, right? Because you're aware of the energy and the subtle vibrational push and pull that's happening in regards to everything in this reality. And we're talking about physical, tangible things. It could be people, it could be anything. So if you're interested in learning more about that, the link will be down below in the description box. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Take care.